I'm here to do what God put Jeremy Jahns on this earth to do. Have supercuts quality hair and talk about trivial entertainment such as movies. Anchorman 2, the legend continues. So Anchorman 2 continues the legend of Ron Burgundy. Now, a network comes to him and they're like, we got this crazy idea. Let's have a 24-hour news station. Ron Burgundy's like, that sounds like bullshit, but I'll do it. I like movies like this because 24-hour news stations are so commonplace to us now. But there was a time that shit did not exist. So this gets to touch on the fact everyone starts to talk shit about it. They're like, that's the stupidest idea ever. And it's funny and ironic, and we know it works because we have a shit-tillion of them. So Ron Burgundy gets his crew together, and now he's in the big time doing the news. In New York, the Big Apple. First of all, Will Ferrell. Say what you want about him, but that dude commits to a role. He's one of those guys, he never breaks character. He's Ron Burgundy on film. He's Ron Burgundy on set. I don't think he breaks character of Ron Burgundy until I think he might have yesterday. Everyone in this movie does such a good job at playing their role, and they have so much fun with it. You can't help but have fun watching them. Like Steve Carell is Brick. There's something about Steve Carell's laugh in this movie. He starts laughing, and he does that Steve Carell laugh where he's just out of breath and he's wheezing. He's laughing so hard that I was laughing just because he was laughing. I didn't know why I was laughing. He didn't know why he was laughing, but we were all laughing together. And this movie has ridiculous shit that you come to expect from a Steve Carell movie, if not a Ron Burgundy movie. It's like hyper reality kind of stuff. They crash a Winnebago on the freeway. No one would walk away from that, but they all do. James Marsden's in this movie. He plays this douchebag who's kind of the rival of Ron Burgundy for a bit. I say a bit because he is for a bit, not the whole movie. And that's one of the things this movie had going against it. This movie feels like they could have done the Peter Jackson, split the movie into two halves, draw it out a bit, now you have two movies. So much happens in this movie, and at a point, if they had just ended the movie, I'd be like, okay, it was a nice full movie. But the movie kept going, and it feels like 2/3 of this movie was really good. Then 1/3 of this movie, you're like, who the fuck wrote that? Hyper reality is one thing, but at a point, it just gets ridiculous. It's like one of Family Guy's bad writers that wrote it. It's like the last quarter to third of this movie was written by someone who was like, I don't here. Send that in. The end of the script was due like last month. Not everyone's gonna feel that way. Walking out of the auditorium, it's like this movie divided the crowd. Some people only like the last third of this movie. Other people only like the first 2/3 of this movie. So depending on who you are, it depends on how much you're gonna like this movie. However, there is a good lesson in this movie. This movie shows what ultimately Newsroom touches on. I'm a big fan of that show. I love that show. Which is at a point, the news became less about the news and more about ratings and entertainment. That shouldn't be what the news is about. So I like seeing that in this movie. It's like someone was like, I like that concept in the newsroom. And if Ron Burgundy did it, that would be funny. Now we have Anchorman 2. So Anchorman 2 was funny. Will Ferrell's great in the movie. Most all of the cast is really good in the movie. I like the fact that in a PC world, this movie's like, no, we're gonna say that. However, in my opinion, it has a sloppy last act of the movie. And then the movie just drops off and ends, and you're like, what was that? That was written by someone else, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was written by someone else. All in all, though, Anchorman 2 is still a good time, no alcohol required. So Anchorman 2, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Did you like it better than the first one or vice versa? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. And you stay classy, YouTube.